Hey guys, I wanted to show you our wind down schedule for our spring, for our last few weeks of school. So basically, we do classical conversations 24 weeks out of the year. With that, we get all of December off from classical conversations. We personally actually still do school through December. We take off probably two and a half weeks around Christmas. But then we get done with classical conversations the first week of April, or at least that's when our community ended. So we have, April and May left to do school if you kind of follow the regular, like the public school schedule, which we typically tend to do. That way we can have play dates with friends and things like that. And it all works, and we need a break. And so that just seems to work well for us. I know this would work really well if you homeschool through the summer because it really doesn't take all that long. It depends on how quickly your son or daughter does math. Mine typically tends to be a little bit slower at that. So it takes us a little bit longer, but you could get it done in an hour tops, But you'll see from the schedule, I do have it scheduled out for time, so you don't have to lump it all together either. You can do it whatever way works best for your family. So anyways, I just wanted to come on and show you that this is kind of what we are doing to end our school year. We're done with classical conversations. We don't have that rhythm going anymore. And then we actually aren't even reviewing right now. I know a lot of times in years past I've tried to review over the summer or CC stuff, and once in a while I'll pop in the CD or something, but honestly we just kind of take a break from it all, and I find that we come back in August feeling more refreshed, and it's always a surprise to me because my son, their little brains are growing so fast, and a lot of times when we break over the summer, we'll start back in the fall, and sure, there's things you need to review and math facts and all of that kind of thing, but I'm always encouraged when we start back to school because I'm like, oh, he's like, I can tell his brain has caught on to things that when we ended the school year, he wasn't quite grasping. And when we start the school year, I'm like, oh, because I have stepped back and taken that break. So for me, that really works well. So anyways, I wanted to show you this. Again, if you school during the summer, it would be a great schedule because it is basically like school light. Here are their daily schedules. I don't change them each week. I just have them very generic so I can use them until we are done. This is from Confessions of a Homeschooler, this template, and you can edit everything in here. So I just went ahead and grabbed that from her website. I'll link it below so you can get it too if you'd like to use it. It's just bright and colorful. I know I could have made it, but she had it there for free, so that was kind of fun. So this is my third grader. This is my kindergartner. And I keep these in sheet protectors, but I took them out because of the glare. A lot of things are exactly the same just because I do like to keep them all on the same schedule. So breakfast and devotional is how we begin, and that is just like a children's Bible, and it has a short little devotional with it. It's more for my 4-year-old for her sake. That's why we do it very short. And during the year, we dive more in with like grapevine studies and things like that. Then we do a math drill and a math lesson. And you can see for my kindergartner, he also does a math drill. So he is doing Math UC, and my third grader just switched to Saxon Math. And I just went to Math UC's website, and you can print out worksheets, like math drill worksheets. And so I did that for him so he can practice his addition. And then my third grader has a power-up workbook with his Saxon Math because we're doing the intermediate 3, and it came with a power-up book, and so it already has that in the front. So I actually give those to them at the same time because it is amazing. I have found with homeschooling, my older one does not like to race against the clock. He doesn't like to race against himself. So with his brother doing it with him, I found that is a huge motivator for both of them. So far that's been, I think, a fairly healthy thing, and it's been helpful for both of them. And then with my kindergartner, he already finished his primer Math UC book, and so we're just playing games just to get like card games and oh my goodness, dice games and all kinds of different games. I change it up every day just to get him faster at his math facts. And then also my older son will play those with him, and that is also helpful. And my daughter tries to play as well. So that's always a fun time. And then my older son, he is still doing his math lesson. He's probably going to be done the end of May, hopefully. We're kind of doubling up some lessons, and that's my hope, is that he'll be done the end of May. Otherwise, he will have to finish that up probably into June if we do decide to finish the book. And then, let's see. Oh, and then so we go into English, and he does spelling and editing. And the spelling is The Phonetic Zoo by IDW, and the editing book is, I will show you that real quick. Here is the daily paragraph editing book, and this is just like you see on the front. It's just a sheet, and they have to edit, and it tells you over at the side what they have to do and everything like that. So if you watched my homeschool conference video, this is where I got that. They didn't actually have it in stock, but they shipped it to my house. And that's been really good because we haven't really done much of that. And he is going to start Essentials next year, my 3rd grader, for classical conversation. So he's going to be doing a lot of writing, editing, that kind of thing. So I wanted to kind of get that in so he knows kind of what he's doing with that. So it's not completely foreign to him. And then for my kindergartner, he's finishing up Logic of English, and there's lots of games and things in there. And so what I've actually been doing is having my 3rd grader play those games with him. Another homeschooling mom had given me that idea. She actually has her older daughter teach her kindergartner math, and she pays her like $1 a day to do it. I was like, oh, that's a great idea. It's great for both of them. So my older son is actually playing the games of Logic of English, and there's like phonogram kangaroo hop and things like that, where they have to hold up a phonogram card. They stand on one side of the room and they say the phonogram. If they get it right, they take a giant leap forward, and then you keep going until the person reaches you. So they have been really having fun with both of those together, or with playing those together. So that's kind of what we've been doing there. And then that also includes some spelling with him. And I've just been really trying to keep it fun and light. So we use bananagram tiles to do spelling. We draw in cornmeal. We do all these different, kind of hands-on activities. So my kindergartner doesn't really feel like it's school per se. And then they both have handwriting books that they're finishing up. And then I have playtime. Sometimes we flip-flop this. The playtime comes at the beginning, and we do this later in the day up until lunch. Then we do, again, this is a routine that I can look at and know that we'll get everything done, but it's not something that I feel like I have to follow to a complete, to a T. Then we do lunch. Then they play outside if it's nice. And then at 2 o'clock, we do reading, and that's where I encourage them to read a book by themselves or to their siblings. So my kindergartner I just get the easy little readers at the library, and he is reading those. And then my 3rd grader he is not really into chapter books yet. I don't know if he will be, but he loves being read out loud to, but he does not enjoy reading. So anything he enjoys reading, like if it's just a library book, somewhat harder library book that like my kindergartner couldn't read, if he wants to read that to his siblings, I let him do that. So anything that just gets him reading, I think is great. And then as you can see here, I've put a different kind of thing, just like ideas for us to do. I don't stick with the day. Like yesterday was Monday, and we did a science experiment, and that it just helps me remember, oh yeah, we could do extra math today instead of, a math game or whatever, or we can do extra math. And, they love playing on the computer. And so sometimes I'll pull up a YouTube Spanish video that just kind of gets them hearing it again, because they do take Spanish class during the year. Art, again, sometimes I'll just pull up a fun project, or I just pull out our how to draw books and I set them on the table, and they'll eventually come around and start using them. So that's kind of how we do that. And we have the Dance Mat Typing. It's a free online game or a typing program, and my kids seem to enjoy that. So then we have video game time from 3 to 4 because my boys love video games, and my daughter watches some sort of show. Or sometimes she plays games with him. And then we have read aloud time, and that can either be it can be like
over lunch, it can be before bed. It just really depends, but I did want to put that in there because that is so important. Right now we're reading Because of Winn-Dixie. It's held their attention so long. They love it. They don't want to stop, and it's not a very long book, so I'm like, oh man, I'm gonna have to find another one here pretty soon because that has been a great read aloud. And then at some point before my husband comes home from work, we try and do a quick pickup just so it's not a complete disaster, because who wants to walk into a disaster of a house? Not me, if I was my husband. So yeah, that's what we kind of do. And then the rest of the evening is just with Daddy, and I mean that kind of rolls the same way every night, or we have something we have to go and do. So I didn't obviously put that in there. So that is kind of how we're doing the end of our school year. You could also do summer this way. And honestly, I will do some of this through summer. Like I'll keep this out, and if they want to do any of this, I mean, that's kind of what we do anyways throughout the summer. It's just fun school stuff. But we did need to finish up math. We'll probably continue to play math games through the summer. Will take out like English and handwriting and things like that. But I do have an idea for handwriting for summer that I wanted to show you guys. A couple of summers ago, I put together these daily summer journals for my boys, and they loved them. They were kind of too young to write in them. I mean, they did a few things. They recorded some things, like when they went to see some things with my parents. My son stayed with my parents. He went to camp, things like that. And then, but we didn't get very far. So it was just plain paper that I chose. It was kind of a little bit thicker, not like a cardstock or anything, but just a little bit thicker. And it was really fun to just kind of record our summer. They still love looking back at it, even though we recorded like 4 or 5 events that we did. It was just a really fun thing to do. And so they had kind of asked again, actually, to have that this summer. So I thought, why not? So I found this journal cover just online on Pinterest or something for my daughter, because I know she'll want one too, even though she can barely write. So I thought I would do that, and I might use the same one for my sons. Again, I'm not sure. But then I thought I would add stuff to it. So that first summer, I just had paper, just plain white paper. And this year I found these online, so it kind of gives you ideas of what to do, because I'm hoping to have them do it at least like maybe, I don't know, 2 to 3 times a week throughout the summer. And then this gives them ideas of what to do. Again, I found this on Pinterest, and I printed out 3 of them for each of my kids. And then I also found pages like this that I thought would be great for, this one's for my daughter, just because she likes to have everything like her brothers. And then these are for my boys. And I just thought this would be kind of fun. It's not too much writing, and it kind of goes through how to write a sentence, things like that, or how to journal. And then I'm not going to do that for every page. I'll probably leave some blank just so they can draw pictures and then write below it. And this doesn't leave very much room, and so I'm okay with just plain paper, and if they just want to write in there, because the idea of this is to be fun. It's not to be like a writing lesson, writing class, that kind of thing, but it is to keep them writing through the summer. And then we are going to Adventureland, so I thought this would be a fun one to put in, and they can kind of, just fill it out about the day, and I think they'll really enjoy that. And then the rest I'm just going to fill in with blank paper, maybe some completely lined. I haven't decided about that yet. So yeah, that's my idea about what I'm going to do this summer for their writing, and I think they're really going to enjoy it. Thanks for watching this video, and have a great week.